If you missed it, I'll have my deck profile for week 2 of the Elestrals Championship League Season 2 up in the card above, down in the description below. But with that being said though, let's get right into the match. So here Wirtz won the die roll and is going first and starts off with a really strong opener with Riceros plus 3 face down, which is terrifying. I have not actually prepared for Riceros, it completely slipped my mind, and it's going to be tough to kind of come back from this as it slows me down by a turn. But hey, Molstation is not a bad defensive body, and I've got a back row to support it. Pair the Thunderstorm, I'm debating because this easily sets Wirtz up into an Ascension play, but it's actually a Gorgon's Gaze. But at the same time, he could easily just cast something anyway, so I just opt to not go for it. And clearly here, getting punished for it as Wirtz has enough spirits to go Signetric into Imperial. And unless I can top deck a Resting on Your Laurels or a Kinleo, it's not looking good because Imperial can just pop the Molstation, hit in for 3, and that was a really tough call because obviously I could have stalled it out, that Rice Roast, but at the same time I could have also just not gotten any value out of it, and Wirtz was just doing it anyway. It was such a tough call to make on such limited information that I opted not to go for it, and in hindsight got punished. I don't know really what else to say about that one. Don't know if it's necessarily a misplay. Definitely seems like in hindsight though. So here, of course, I just have to take 3 to the face. But here, going back to my turn, I don't actually have the Resting on Your Laurels. It's only a 1 in my deck, as you've seen from the deck profile. But I do have a Kinleo in hand, and I could just kind of have to go for it. So of course, throw out the Kinleo here, throw out Trident with 2 Fire Spirits so I can Nexus, and Wirtz has the Gorgon's Gaze. Very unfortunate here, and that's pretty much it, because here he can just go another Rice Roast. Oh, that hurts. And now my Laurels is off, and I would need another Kinleo set, which I do not have. So take 4, and here, this is a rough first game here. I honestly was not in the best headspace going into this, so I was already like just fuming. I did have the Laurels, but it doesn't work on the Imperial, so definitely very annoyed here after this first game. But alright, reset game 2, I can do a lot better. That was definitely a high roll on Wirtz's end. So getting into game 2 here, I'm going first, and I opt to mulligan, which already hurts. My hand wasn't terrible. I had some really great Elestrals. But the only counter rune I had was Helios' Chariot Ride. I didn't have a clear setup into Blazerous either, so I want something that could be more reactive to Wirtz's hand. So I end up keeping this next one, but that's just because it has drops. I mean, the hand was all right. It had Blazerous and it had some setup. It had Trident and Poseidon, but here I'm just opting to get rid of Trident and Poseidon because I just need more cards to get started. I'm hoping to find an Ignector. That's really what I want to see going first. It's what my deck's designed to do. And it just hurts that it took me a mulligan and then a pseudo mulligan with drops as well. I mean, a better mulligan with drops, but still a mulligan nonetheless. So here, I did find some alright stuff from what I remember. Nothing too crazy. I did find, I believe, 2 counter runes. I think I already had 1. Here, just kind of going Kinleo, saying to impasse. I know it's normally a reactionary card, but since I have the Blazers, I really want to set it up. And then Wirtz goes Thunderstorm, sniping the Tsunami. Nothing I can really do about it. That's fine. I have another backup. Wirtz then going Astrabbit here, which I am a-okay with because I can just attack over it with Blazerous next turn, or if I find a Nexus Bank for Kinleo. That's the other reason I played out the Kinleo. I didn't have a Nexus Bank for it, so I'd rather set up for the Blazerous out. And here, Astrabbit. So if I find a Nexus Bank, that can be another great way to pressure Astrabbit as well. So here, Wirtz just sets, I believe, 2, he sets 1, plays the Stadium, which is, that's another thing I did not plan for whatsoever, is that Stadium here, making it so that my, not even Molstation outside, I really need to go Kinleo's effect or Blazerous. And that's another one and passes here, so I'm just debating what I want to do here. I can play it a bit slower. I know I have another Galaxy in hand, so I could just kind of slow burn it, but at the same time, I'm just like, I just need to go for the out here. My deck's supposed to be aggressive. Let's go for it. Blazerous, and thankfully, Wirtz does not have a PTA for it and doesn't have a shield. He's got a Gorgon's Gaze. That sucks that he's got the Gorgon's Gaze to stop it, but I will take it. That's not a hard answer. I still got my Blazers to try to pressure next turn, so I'm feeling a-okay here. And I do have a Gorgon's Gaze face down if he tries to go Signetric into Imperial as well. So I'm feeling pretty safe here. Just need to be careful about some other removal. Wirtz obviously could use the Spirit from either Mount Olympus or Astrap. No, we can't even do that. He's locked out of his own Resting on Your Laurels since he needs 2 or more Spirits, and that's not the case. So he does ascend into Signetric here, being able to set up to kind of go for it, but he doesn't have enough Spirits actually to do that. I don't think he does because of all the cards he's already played out. So he just sits on the big body here, and this is where it kind of stinks. I have the out for it. Like, obviously Blazers can't hit over the Signetric. If I tried, I could hit over it, and the other face down's kind of scary, but I just kind of start playing for my outs, and it really does stink that I had to mulligan those away with drops, but I had to. I opt to expend to draw, not considering the fact that Well, I knew I could take a Spirit from Blazerus to cast Resting on Your Laurels. But my reason for not doing it was I just wanted Words to commit another Spirit so I could keep my Blazerus around, thinking that was a hard answer. But then I completely disregarding the fact that he could just play an Elestral to dodge it. I should have just Laurels there, should have just gotten rid of the problem. Here he can go Quackle. I can stop the Signetric for a turn, but I still don't have an out to the Signetric to be able to hit over it. And that's really rough here. I end up expecting to draw, hoping to find one. Like, if I can just find a Trident, again, I can just kind of sweep over it, barring a shield face down. But at this point, I just really can't worry about it. So I think that's a huge misplay. Sure, I don't want to give up my Blazerus, but if I just use the Spirit from the Laurels, got rid of the Signetric, I still had Galaxy in hand, so I could start pressuring, and I think that was just more important. Just keep the pressure on Words, keep them on the back foot, and maybe I can find a Blazerus later to really finish off the aggression here. So here I opt to expend to draw, just saying I really need to find it out. I don't find it. I mean, I have the Laurels in hand, but again, not really useful. So I just head over the Quackle. At this point, I just need to try to keep him off Celestial. Hope he can't cast one. And pass him back to Words. He ends up going Rise from the Ashes to bring back the Quackle. So you're using the 3 spirits, use the Spirit from the Quackle. Also of note, last turn, Quackle only recovered 2. And then here he shows off the spirits and just realizes, oh, he's 1 short. He should have used a Spirit from the Mount Olympus to be able to cast for that Rise from, because now he's got 1 Water Spirit in deck, 11 Thunder. He can't quite make it. And this is my break. I still can't out the Signetric. I need the Trident to be able to do so. But at least it's something. I have a chance here. So Words is just debating on what he can do. It looks like he's got 2 cards in hand. And he ultimately opts to expend to draw, hoping to just draw into something that can finally out this Blazerus. This is a very interesting board state here for sure. It's just whoever can draw the out. Even Kinleo here would be great. Even if at this point, I don't think I would have done it in game because honestly I was tilting at this point and I want to keep the Blazerus. Oh, it didn't even matter. He just hit over it with Quackle and Zeus. That hurts as well. Now my Blazer's outed anyway, so should have just gone for the Laurels last turn. But I have the Galaxy to try to put pressure on, hit over the Quackle, just kind of get rid of it. And Words ends up having the Imperial in hand and just hard playing it. I also do set one. It's a bluff. It's Ambrosia. And this is another misplay on my part. I was hoping to just kind of make Words very wary to kind of hit into the back row. It does save me a Spirit, but it's not worth it. I do have Laurels here to answer the Imperial finally, but at this point I'm so far behind. I don't know if it's really going to do much. But that was, I think, another big misplay because I could have just kept the Ambrosia and sure protected 1 Spirit that turn, but that Ambrosia would have netted me back 2 Spirits. So it would have been 1 more Spirit than in that exchange. And that 1 Spirit really could have helped in the late game here. I don't know if it would have won me the game per se, but it means I would have had another turn to try to find an out, maybe find another Ambrosia to be able to survive a bit longer. But here, I just go Ignector. I debated just kind of poking for 1, but I figure my best bet here is just to go wide, hope I can either draw like a Blazerus, a Kinleo to control the board, and just kind of get in with a ton of damage to try to close out the game. Words ends up going Riceros. Again, that card is so rough to deal with in my deck. I don't have a PTA to deal with it. Laurels is not live. I mean, I could make it live, but I've already used my 1. End up going Galaxy, just hoping to pressure, and another Quackle on Words' end. He's just buffing up his Spirit deck. Definitely trying to play around the burn here, but I don't have it. I don't have enough burst damage to be able to deal with this. So here, of course, Zeus. I'm completely forgetting the fact that Zeus here I end up PTAing the Quackle. I was just like, I just need to keep you off of Elestrals to try to connect some face damage. It's the best I got. I'm completely forgetting that Stadium's up. Riceros can just hit over the Galaxy, and that's pretty much game here. I mean, I get rid of the Riceros, but I'm on 1 Spirit. I do have the Kinleo. I think I top deck the Kinleo here. It means I can finally take care of the Riceros, but still, I can push him down to 4 Spirits, but there's no power behind my board. As long as he's got an Elestral, he can deal with it. He's got the Jolton, and that's pretty much GG. So a very frustrating game for sure. I was hoping I could end up beating out Words, but didn't prepare for Thunder, much less Imperial, and that was on me. And also, I definitely didn't go into this game with the right mindset, and I do think mindset is very important. I had a really rough day at work. I had just come off of trying to do a task that was very frustrating for me, and it just kind of led me to be more prone to tilting to a high roll like what happened in the first game. So definitely I would say one of the most important things going into any sort of card game is just try to have a healthy mindset, try to be more positive, don't come in already tilted like I did, because it just ends in a very painful and frustrating match overall. But kudos to Words, he definitely prepared very well. He explained his deck choice afterwards. I won't tell you what it is, go check out his video if you want to see that. He definitely prepared very well, so he definitely earned this victory, and I'm hoping that I can come back in these later games, maybe face off against Words for the final match and get my redemption. We'll see. I don't know if it'll happen. If not, maybe I'll just have to wait until ECL 3, but eventually I'll get words. I'm determined to. But now I want to hear from you all. What was your favorite moment from this match? I know game 1 doesn't have too much going on, but game 2, even though when I was playing it out, I was like, this is awful. I'm behind this entire time. I'm losing. This is not going well. But watching it back, there's definitely some notable moments that I think was pretty hype. And of course, you can check out all the other ECL participants' channels linked down in the description below. Works is going to be right on top since he was my opponent this week, so definitely go check out his deck profile inside of the match. You can hear our live commentary, as well as all the other participants that most of them have already uploaded their match. I think only Luck and Mula haven't quite yet, but you can check them all out down in the description below. And of course, if you've been enjoying my content, please consider leaving a like, subscribing, and turning on the notification bell so you're notified when I do upload more content. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I'll have my deck profile linked up in the card above, down in the description below, as well as the playlist with all my ECL content, so if you're behind, you can get caught up. But with that being said though, look forward to more content coming out real soon.